You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Days of Our Lives fans, let's talk about this cupcake poisoning and the script leaking and who could be behind it, because I think there's a chance that Whitley King, the crazy lady who was obsessed with Abe Carver, did part of it, but I think it's somebody else with a grudge against someone else who did the other part. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and let's dive into these mysteries that unfortunately may not be solved for a while. Now, I will tell you, we already know Kim Coles was back and she already filmed new scenes for Days. The big question, though, is what storyline could possibly bring her back? Why would they need Whitley back on the scene? The three main things about Whitley, was her intense obsession with Abe, her weird and creepy obsession with stuffed cats, and her, fangirl obsession with body and soul. So, these days, Whitley King is biding her time tucked away at Bayview Sanitarium for trying to kill Lonnie, Abe, and herself in the end, but it's not too much longer before Kim Coles is back on Days. I don't expect her to stick around for too long, though. And in fact, I'm wondering if Whitley has either escaped or has a way of getting herself in and out of Bayview when she wants, because she'd be a perfect culprit for some of the mayhem surrounding the fake soap right now. And yeah, I know Hattie's the one they're looking for, but she's way too of an obvious suspect. So I don't see it happening. So just to set the timing up for you, back in April 2024, that's when they were taping the early December episodes for Doug's funeral. So that was 8 months ahead of time, just to give you the timeline they're filming on. And then a cast list for early July episodes leaked. They were filming in early July. That wasn't when the episodes are airing. It didn't list the air dates. And it listed Kim Coles as one of the actors that was working on those episodes. So assuming that same 7 to 8 month ahead shooting schedule, that means Whitley should be on air around March, but it could be a little earlier, maybe even for February sweeps, which should run from roughly January 30th, 2025 through March 5th, 2025. And so right now, two mysteries: who stole and published Leo's scripts and who poisoned the cupcakes intended for all the cast and crew. I personally think it's two different people with two very different motives. I think one of the culprits has an issue with the show and the other has an issue with Leo Stark personally. So as to the cupcakes, I definitely feel like that could be the work of Whitley King. And yeah, I know that the idea of this cupcake conundrum lasting until February is horrible, but we all know how long plots can drag out in Salem. Plus, they may find Hattie and lock her up for it, and she may be languishing in Statesville until then for a pastry plot she did not perpetrate. And I remember how insane that Whitley was about the soap. She was the one that really got Abe hooked on it, and she might be jealous that Abe is involved in it and she's not. Or Whitley may think that they're ruining the show by killing off Charlemagne and all the other changes they've made. Crazy Whitley may think this reboot of the soap is a betrayal of her beloved show, and that could be why she targeted all of the cast and crew, because she wants to destroy it. And that would definitely make it look like it's the work of Hattie, who cursed them all on her way out. I will say, if Whitley manages to get this soap within a soap shut down, that she should get a Medal of Honor instead of sent back to Bayview, because I think we would all appreciate, for the most part, seeing it shut down sooner rather than later. So now onto the other issue of who stole and published Leo's scripts. Obviously, it wasn't the work of Javi, which he messed up accusing him. I don't think that's the work of Hattie either, and I don't think it's Whitley either. I actually don't think the two crimes, the scripts and the cupcakes, are related. I think it's sheer coincidence that the soap was targeted in two different ways on the same day. The thing with the scripts is Whitley doesn't have access to make it happen. And that's just not her kind of crime, you know. The other kind of things she did within her purview and her skill set as a nurse. So I suspect it's somebody who does not like Leo Stark. I think it's a personal attack on him, and targeting the soap scripts was a way to try and get him possibly fired from his dream job by messing up the soap and either ending the show or getting him fired as the head writer, thinking that he leaked the scripts himself because it was done under his own pen name, Lady Whistleblower. So the question is, who dislikes Leo that much? Well, that's kind of a wide array of people, right? I mean, Joy or Nancy might have done it because of his fling with Craig, but I don't think either of them would have risked Joy's new job. So they're off the list. Leo's ex, Dimitri, is busy banging his new boyfriend, so I don't think he's holding a grudge. He's off the list. Craig was very upset about the whole bigamy thing when he was marrying him, when he was married to Jackie Cox, wasn't that her name? So Craig's off the list as far as I'm concerned. And to be fair, plenty of people in Salem dislike Leo, but I don't think they hate him enough to hurt the other people involved, like Abe or Kate or the other actors. But there is one person that despises Leo that we know is coming back, and she wouldn't care that much about causing collateral damage to others involved in the show. This is someone who would absolutely have access to the Salem Spectator computers, could remotely access them, and would have no issues creeping into Leo's room to steal the scripts off his laptop. That person, if you haven't figured it out yet, is Gwen Rizczech. Let's not forget how much she hates Leo for banging her hot hubby, Dimitri, behind her back. Gwen never got over it, despite Leo calling and making apologies for betraying her. I expect Gwen would never get over it. Emily O'Brien is back to Days of Our Lives next year as both Teresa Donovan briefly and then longer term as Gwen Rizczech. So I just wonder if when Emily is back as Gwen, if we find out then that she is the one that leaked Leo's scripts trying to ruin his life. Because let's be real, Leo is kind of living his best life right now, and I can see how Gwen would want to sabotage him as payback. And he kind of deserves it for what he did to her. So until more clues emerge, I am looking at Whitley and Gwen as possibly the two culprits. I'm not saying this is a spoiler. It's not set in stone. But I think they may be the two culprits, one for the cupcakes, the other for the scripts. Now, the downside to my theory is that it means the resolution on these storylines would drag into 2025. And that is terribly painful to contemplate because I hate storylines that drag. But, you know, that is very Hallmark Ron Carlivati, and his storylines are set to end around April 2025. And we do know the soap within a soap is going to die at some point as well. No word if it is going to get the axe in scripts that Ron wrote, or that the writers who came after him, Quickly and Ford, are the ones that put it through the literary guillotine and gave it, you know, I don't even care if it's a mercy killing, just kill it and get it done. So those are my theories. I look forward to seeing the comments on yours. Do you think it could be Gwen and Whitley? Let me know.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.